I love when the good news coming in on a day-to-day. Already know what's happening, I don't gotta shake the hay. Big moves, big stepper in the right direction. The trip continues every double.
So my training has changed quite a lot. So before I was doing quite a lot of sets, a lot of reps. And now sort of studies and sort of a bit of research. I've reduced that quite a lot, so I try to sort of train more to failure and also reduce the amount of sets you do per exercise. And I mean, since then I've noticed I've had much less injuries, which sometimes set me up, you know, for a couple of months or even a few months. So it's really helped in that aspect. And I've also seen a change in terms of my growth. My growth overall is relatively as good, or if not better. And I think it sort of contributes to the fact that I'm not sort of overtraining everything that I'm doing. So now we're going to do 2 sets of calf raises and we're going to train them to failure.
I'm done fucking, but she telling me to leave it in. Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all, I'm locking the fridge door.
Now we're going to do back. We'll do 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps, not very heavy.
Hopping off the Mayflower, set up shot to kill them off, whatever it take, pal, sing the boats, I'm at
The
home.
last of the back exercises, we're going to do 2 sets of Lat Pulldowns. We're going to go for 8 to 12 reps.
You ain't grown, coming ashore,
So now we're going to move into shoulder exercises. I'm going to do 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps shoulder press, and then we're going to finish off with flies.
I don't need a loan, I'm on 10.
Alright, second set, again between 6 to 8 reps.
In the mud to my neck, I love a spot.
You know, for the training I never buy lock, but we just got a lock for the sake of just putting our shit in, but I forgot the code and I forgot to tell Gosha about it. So now I'm trying to contemplate what the code is, but all our shit is in there, so it's going to be a little bit awkward if we're going to get our stuff out of there. Wait. I'm pretty sure, I think it was 9/11. I think it's a 9/11 or 11/9 or some shit like that. So now we're going to move into flies. We'll do 2 sets of 12 reps. Again, we'll try to go to failure. It's really important that you really try to aim for failure, or at least work to 90%. It happens to me a lot as well. Sometimes I just sort of cruise through the exercises. And then in the end I don't actually work out. I just kind of like, you know, warm up and just perform the exercise rather than, you know, challenging myself and working to failure. So yeah, keep that in mind. Always try to train to failure and really push yourself, you know, get to that sort of 90 range. Of course, if you feel something, you know, tearing, or you feel a little bit uncomfortable, then of course it's always better to go a little bit lower, a bit less, and make sure that you have the correct form. So now we're doing just one last exercise regarding shoulders. We'll do 2 sets of 12 to 15 reps, again to failure, rear delt flies. Not familiar with this machine, to be honest. Usually I use dumbbells, but I thought I'd try something a little bit different today. Give it a go, and of course a little bit lighter, not too heavy. Yeah, as I say, practice makes perfect. We'll do one more exercise. There's always one more, you know? So we do a bit of a mixture of abs, back, and triceps, just for a bit of fun, nothing too serious. And then we call it a day. Losing grip, which means I'm tired, which means it's time to go home now. Right, folks, moment of truth. Et voila. Thank God. We're back to business.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, folks. Now we're in Gosha's kitchen. We just came back from the gym and we're gonna make some healthy burgers. We're gonna add some lettuce, some tomatoes, a bit of cucumber, some onions, and then we're gonna have some beef patties, a bit of cheddar cheese, and then we're also gonna make a nice salad, healthy salad with some capsicum, some I don't know, maybe some tomatoes as well, some green apple, some green leaf salad, and then we're also going to cut up some watermelon, some nice slices, and I think that's about it, and call it a day. Alright, got a peeler, sharp knife. So I think I'm definitely going to buy a new peeler because this one's not really cutting it. Yeah, so usually I never make meal preps, just because I really like eating my food super fresh. The only kind of meal prep maybe I might do is like veggies and salad. So salad but also carbs. So for example, if I make some pasta, I might make some extra pasta, which then I'll eat maybe later in the evening or maybe as a snack. Same with veggies, maybe I make sort of an extra salad, like a fruit salad, and then sort of span it over, 2 to 3 days. But usually everything else, like meat, that kind of stuff, I hate prepping it. I just like it super fresh. I don't like it when it's dry. So yeah, I probably do spend quite a bit of time, cooking and that kind of thing. But then I also try to keep the meals super simple. And simple can sometimes be just, a can of tuna, some pasta, and then maybe just a few slices of cucumber and then an apple. Another thing you can do is, if you, in terms of meal prep, actually one thing I do is, especially with sweet potato, I will cut up quite a lot of it. Season it and then just add it into a plastic bag, sealable plastic lock bag, whatever they call them, and then just freeze it. And then whenever I want to eat some sweet potato or whatever, I will take it out of the freezer, take out my portion, and then just chuck it straight into the oven. So there's another way in case you make, let's say in this case I've made quite a lot of sweet potato, so if you don't want to eat everything today and you're going away tomorrow, then just chuck it in the freezer. You could also do 150 and then do it, I don't know, for 2 or 3 hours or something like that, which was also pretty nice because they kind of become like super custody and caramelized. Now we're going to make a nice healthy salad. We add some yellow capsicum into it, maybe some cucumber, some tomatoes, some green apple, and some green leaf salad. As of late I started adding into my salad some fruits. It's a nice way to add a little bit more sweetness to the salad, or maybe some crunch. Makes it also a little bit more interesting than always eating the same kind of salad, maybe than, like a classic salad of, I don't know, cucumber, lettuce and tomato. Pretty basic green apple, capsicum, mixed leaf salad, some cucumber, some tomatoes, and green apple. Fuck, that's pink. That's really pink.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Comme ça? Comme ça, exactement, c'est fini. On va dessert. What is funny? Because usually when I cook, right, I mean it's kind of weird because you're filming a little bit more concentrated and, getting it right and all that shit, but in reality, I'm just chopping this shit up and keeping it so basic. Tip number 2, exactly. Yeah. Rinse your onions. Especially if you're having a day. Maybe better day, don't eat any onions, fuck that. Don't risk it. It's nothing worse than a fucking onion bread while you're making out. It's always a bit fucking awkward. Hey, you're looking at me and then you looked away. This meat isn't like crazy healthy, but with everything else around it, it's okay. So what I do, and this is a trick that I've learned from Heston Blumenthal. He's a very renowned chef, Michelin star chef. If you know him, then you know him. If you don't know him, go check him out. He has a very famous restaurant called The Fat Duck. And he's done like different kinds of recipes and that kind of thing, but one of the things he does with the burgers, he adds a salt solution or salt amount to the meat. So I don't remember exactly what it is. I'm gonna have a quick look. And then basically what you do, you add X amount of salt per whatever amount of meat that you have, and that way you season the meat perfectly, and it also draws out the moisture a bit and allows it to stick and bind together. That way when you're making burgers, you don't actually have to add anything else, like any kind of fillers like egg yolks and all that other kind of shit like breadcrumbs to make it stick. So just adding the correct salt amount will season it, but it will also bind it together. That will allow you to kind of cook it without it falling apart. But for it to work well, I think you have to do it at least for, I think, 6 hours or so, especially if the meat is a bit more coarser ground. But this is quite thin, and I've done it a couple of times and I've noticed I can get away with it around even just an hour or so. But yeah, give it a go, try it out, and I'll write definitely in the comments the exact formula for it, the percentage of it. Also, the meat here that I've used is a mixture of beef and pork. I think it just tastes much better than just having a plain beef. Yes, it's maybe a little bit more fattier, but if you're eating healthy throughout the day, you're having your salads and all that shit, then I think it's okay, a bit of extra fat. I'm not gonna die from it. That paper like that on top, and you just squish it out. Nothing too crazy. They look quite big, but once you cook them, they will shrink considerably. So they'll shrink at least a third of the size, at least. So you can really squish them out. I guess the only annoying, because I like my burgers really thin, especially if it's sort of store-bought meat. If I buy butchery meat, then it's a little bit cleaner. So the thinner it is, I feel like the flavor is a little bit more cleaner. So whole grain, healthy burger buns. So yeah, as you can see, it's super healthy. There's a mixture of different things in it. So there's plenty of fiber, there's plenty of good carbohydrates, there's good proteins, some fat as well. But overall, it's super healthy and dense. And a meal like this, usually I would have maybe, I don't know, 3 maximum. But something like this I'd have sort of in the afternoon or maybe early lunch. And it would definitely give me enough energy throughout the day. Let's give it a crack.